Hello, Leos, and welcome to your weekly tarot forecast for this week, August 24th, guys. We have that new moon in Leo last week and all this Mars energy, guys. I'm really hoping you're harnessing this energy, staying motivated, even getting things off the ground, even if it's a little bit of a struggle, but using the energy to push forward. Now, this is for Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, so check all three, especially that Rising and Moon sign. And if you're not sure what signs you are, there's a free calculator down below. All right, Leo. Let's just jump right into it and let's see what this week has in store for you. Let's see. And a theme for the week. All right, we have the Ace of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Star, the Hangman, the Five of Coins, the Fool, and the theme is the Page of Cups. Every single fire sign has had the Ace of Cups. It's hilarious. There's a theme here. And for you guys, it's not too much different. This is really about wanting more emotionally, Leo. This is a good thing in my opinion. We have the Ace of Cups, so it's two things. So we have the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Cups on top of it. This is about new emotional situations that have been developing or blooming or possibly meeting this week. And it could also represent new homes. So for those Leos who are looking for new homes, we're going to get into that in a second. But you have the Eight of Cups on top of it. So what I see this week, Leo, is not just a blossoming of relationships, but really important conversations about your needs, the depth with which you want to experience love or connection in some way. And granted, if some of you are like, I'm not interested in love at all, well, then any of your relationships, because the Eight of Cups is knowing that there's something better out there for you, more out there for you. It's about walking away from old situations that aren't really filling you up. You want more meaning and more depth in your spiritual life, in your romantic life, in your life in general, and you're not willing to settle this time. You're not going to do it. You've done it before, and you're not going to do it. Now, you might notice that in some of your relationships, for some of you Leos who are dating or are in relationships or have been dating for a bit, this week there's going to be some really important conversations, and you're not going to be afraid to be vulnerable. You're going to say, look at, where is this going? What are we doing? Is this have any potential? And it's not about being like, some people are like, whoa, like relax. You're not being intense. And please don't let people tell you that. I can't stand when people tell me that. But it's about you having really important conversations so you can have immediate results. I mean, do you want to hold off this conversation and realize 8 months later that it's not going anywhere? Because if you could have just had this conversation now, you might have recognized that we're on two different pages. Or even on the same page. When you have it with the Ace of Cups, you are looking for something more enduring. Some of you Leos are probably looking for that person you perhaps want to share your life with, start a family with, or even share a home with in some way. And knowing that you deserve those things. So don't be afraid to have that conversation. I know a lot of people put it off because they're like, well, what if they say this or that? I know that sucks, but would you rather know now? Because it'll hurt a lot more later, trust. But don't give up on this. You have the Nine of Wands. Stay determined for the things that you want, Leo. You might say, I really like this person, or I'm really good with where we're at. Are you being honest with yourself? And if you are, great. But you're only going to hurt you if you're not being honest. The Nine of Wands is saying, you've worked so hard to get here, Leo. Don't settle. Don't backtrack. Stay determined to the things that you want for yourself. I promise you guys. Some people think, oh, if I push too much, they're going to walk away. Well, let me tell you something, boo-boo. That ain't the person. Because there are bigger things in life. If somebody can't take a conversation, how are they going to take marriage, children, illness, disease, death? There are things in human experiences that are far greater, heavier, traumatic, that require so much more heart and soul and spirit than this simple conversation. And let me say, when you want something or desire something or know something's right, you work for it. It's not about making someone hustle. It's about knowing your worth and your value and not accepting less at that price. Now you have the Star on top of all of this. This is going to lead to great things, Leo. I think you might actually be pleasantly surprised by this person's response or the conversation you had. Maybe you thought, oh my God, it's going to go so bad, and it ended up going so damn good. Maybe they were also scared. Maybe they were also nervous to even communicate that. Maybe they thought it was going to be too much, or whatever the stupid culture has us thinking. No, it's not. The star is a dream come true, the end of difficult situations. And it's because you stuck to it. It's not about fighting. It's about staying determined and standing in that power and not backing down from what you know you deserve. Now we have the Hangman. This is a wonderful experience, Leo, because this is going to allow you to see life from a different perspective. Like, wow, there are other people out there that have the same values and desires, and I can do this. And as a result, it's going to give you this motivation to jump. The Hangman, it really is about daring you to be different, because you can see it from a new perspective. Maybe you've met somebody, you're finally able to be honest and vulnerable in your whole intense, beautiful self. And so now you're like, hell yeah, now I'm not going to be afraid to suggest this and do that. This is a really good week, not just of standing in your power, but realizing how loving yourself is well rewarded by those who deserve you. Now we have the Five of Coins with the Leap of Faith card. Don't be afraid to go on this new journey. The Five of Coins, while it tends to be financial and insecure, you're not sure, but it's also a card of victimhood. It's also a card of feeling like you're all alone or you have to go through this by yourself. This is not the case. That might have been the case in the past, or screw it, I got this, I don't need this, blah, 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 blah. In fact, let me get a clarity card on this Five of Coins here. 10 of Coins, Queen of Cups. The card of marriage and families, and 10 of Coins, financial security in the home. These days are done. These days of feeling a victim, or I keep trying, I keep having to do it on my own or stand on my own, they're done, boo-boo. Now that someone's coming in to walk this path with you, to support you. The Queen of Cups is also about your relationships ascending to higher levels, and this is new for you. Take it with both hands. Who cares if you don't know where it's going to end? It's about the journey, and when you do this, when you walk in faith and love, unexpected opportunities bless your life, and the next step arrives, and the next step. The theme of the week is the Page of Cups, which is a soulmate energy. It's about a person who can be a lover and a friend. It is about social situations as well, but it's a new emotional situation that allows for vulnerability and intuitive growth and deepening of relationships. Leo, I think it's wonderful that you can stand in your power with love for yourself, with love and respect for another, and to have these conversations and see how by just standing in it and standing in love, not in fear, yields the very thing that you desire. And sometimes when we're vulnerable like that, we give other people permission to also be vulnerable, to also stand up, step forward, step back, and not to be afraid this time around. We've all had our heart broken, 1 or 10 million times, so we know what that entails. But we also know what it entails to stay in something that we know is less than we deserve, and know that's not going to bring us happiness. And that was far worse. And so standing in this, stepping up, entering this beautiful new relationship is going to be a beautiful surprise for you, Leo. I'm so happy to see this. If you like a more in-depth tarot session, a soul reading, a healing session, my link is down below. Otherwise, guys, I will see you next week for next week's readings.